The Carabao Cup final is as important to Chelsea as the Champions League victory, according to Ben Chilwell. Well, that comment has got a lot of fans angry and a lot of fans calling him clueless. But the reality is, I think the guy's kind of right, and I'll explain to you why. Furthermore, I think it's very important that we preview this game with the respect it deserves, because this is a trophy. It's not a major trophy, but it matters. I don't like those people that say it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, when we look back at seasons, we're going to remember this. Then we're going to need to talk about Enzo Fernandez and Enzo Fernandez's comments regarding the game, because they've been very important. He's talked about the last 18 months and how important it is to keep the Chelsea identity. He gets it. £5,000 for a Chelsea ticket. I'm going to explain to you what is happening. Chelsea have got a new NBA courtside ticket, evidently. And finally, Mauricio Pochettino tells us who's going to be playing potentially, who's fit, who's ready to go in goal, and more importantly, why the referees need to be fair and respectable. And this isn't the Klopp goodbye show. Let's get into it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, hit that bell notification, because straight after the game tomorrow, I am going to be breaking down the tears or the joy for every single one of us. So before we get started, I want to talk about these £5,000 tickets, right? Because the reality is the meltdown has actually been preposterous. We need to stop being so reactionary as a fan base and try to get all the information before we start panicking. Look, I know a lot of people want to go to the games, and I know a lot of people want it to be affordable tickets. But the reality is we've lost our game that we adore. We've lost the game that it was £30, £10 for your kid. You go together, you go with your granddad, go with your grandma, you go with your auntie, and you build a community atmosphere. The corporates have taken over our game, and that's the sad truth. The minute you start spending £100 million for one player, I'm not even saying Enzo, Rice, or Caicedo. I'm just saying the minute a player starts going for millions, yo, it's a business, and we need to accept it, that it is strictly a business. We have a problema. This is the problem that we have at our hand. You want to see the best players? You want to see them getting paid? You want to pay your subscriptions for the TV? Money's going to be revolving, and it will turn into an enterprise. It will turn into a business, whether you like it or not. So, what's going on? Chelsea are charging £5,000 for tickets to be right behind the dugout. Literally, you're basically part of the mandem, you're basically part of the team, you're one of the crew, you're literally one of the injured players. You could be sitting next to Romeo Lavia and saying, yo, what do you think about today's game? Well, against Manchester United, it costs £5,000. One fan can buy a ticket and sit right there. People have had a meltdown about this. Why don't we try venture across to other sports? I know this definitely happens in NBA. For those of you that don't know, I adore the NBA. Part of me actually loves the NBA more than football. That's how much I can get obsessed with my Boston Celtics. I can't lie to you. Purely because I just think the way the Americans market their sport, and the way there's a storyline, and the way it builds up across the whole year. When the NBA playoffs come, I'm waking up 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm watching every single game. That's how mad it is for me, right? I love Chelsea, I adore Chelsea, but I love the Celtics just as much. Like, for me, NBA and football is just up here. I can't pick between them. I absolutely adore it. So for me, it's normal paying, like, people paying 23k for a playoff game. But it is normal. And the reason I say it's normal is because I've accepted what sports is. Sports is a business venture. Sports has stopped being sports a long time ago. We can still enjoy the game, but we need to remember we've lost touch of what the game actually was. The number of players now, most probably, that play for the money is unbelievable. The number of parents, the minute they have kids, that invest their kids into the game, they start paying for coaching from a young age in hope that their kid becomes a player, because it's the jackpot. We lost the game we adore. We lost the passion. We lost the sport. So for me, I've accepted that Chelsea are going to do this. And if you think this stops at one ticket, you're sadly mistaken. This is going to be a whole row of basically courtside tickets. They're going to get food, they're going to get beverages, and it's going to be a full package. And it will go to 10k, it'll go to 15k, and it'll most probably even get up to 20k for a Champions League final. And that's just the sad truth. We need to accept it. Now on to the final and about the beautiful game that we all adore. Because the reality is, we need to talk about what Ben Chilwell said. A lot of people are panicking. There's hysteria. How dare he compare the Carabao Cup to the UEFA Champions League? Does he understand the heritage that goes into those tournaments? Guys, he didn't say it's a bigger tournament. He said it could be as important. And let me explain to you what he's saying. Because you know my stance on Basic Ben. I don't think he's a great player. I think he's dead, if anything. I think he's average. Like, for me, he's one of the players we need to upgrade on. Left back is an issue. I don't trust Ben to stay fit, and when he's fit, I don't trust him to defend accordingly and have consistent good games. He'll have one good game, then he'll have two bad games. One great game, two bad games. And I can't trust my left back to be like that. So I'd want to replace him. However, I don't want to have a go at Ben for today. I just don't. Because I think what Ben is trying to say is, this is a new club now we're in. Chelsea under Roman, we've already won the Champions League. So winning a second Champions League was just defining ourselves as one of the big elite. However, under Bowley, we're a mid-table side. And I want people to understand what I'm saying here. We are genuinely a mid-table side. Bowley's been here for 2 full seasons. Both times we finished 10th and now we're battling for 10th. Do you understand how mad that is, that under the new era, that this is our new level? So an initial catapult with this EFL Cup, with this Carabao Cup, will empower us to just get off to a great start. It will define to the world that, you know what, Chelsea is still about business. We are still about business. We are still on our money. We are still an entity that everyone should be proud of. And we are still an entity that is going to go after trophies. And I think that's what Ben's trying to say. I just don't think he was articulate enough to prove himself. Or we just saw a snippet of what he really said in a long piece. Because trust me, journalists do that. Trust me, they'll take a quote. They'll take one direct quote and they'll throw the guy under the bus. And I feel like this is what's happened to him. That's my personal opinion. What I've really liked this week is the way the players have come out. We got Malo Gusto putting up a story saying we're ready to go to war with him on the bench press. We've got Disasi coming out and saying how it's important that we're going to give everything to win this game. And now we've got Enzo Fernandez being the leader that he is. He's saying, look, the last 18 months for me have been difficult. They've been difficult for everybody associated with the club. However, we've got a brilliant opportunity to prove to everyone we're a fantastic club. We're a unit and we can step up to the big occasions. He said he joined Chelsea because he knows they're a big team. They're a team in finals. They're a team that's competing. They're a team that has a pride, an entity, and demand to win trophies. And for me, it shows he gets it. And a lot of people say, what does that even mean, gets it? It means he knows where he is. It means he understands the importance of winning at Chelsea. Now, it's time to walk the walk. You talk the talk, big man, now it's time to walk the walk. You cashed the check. You wrote the checks, time to cash them. Because the reality is, we've lost to Liverpool enough times. We need to step up and give them a little smack back now. Because we've lost to 2 finals with them under Thomas Tuchel. I don't like it. They don't like it. The way they've been winning them on penalties. I want us to step up. This game tomorrow is a must. And when I say a must win, it's a final. There's the only thing that matters, a win. We can shithouse our way to that tournament. I will celebrate it. We can be absolutely under the cosh and nick it 1-0 with an own goal that hits literally the crossbar and Bogdan's head and goes in. I will celebrate it. Or Kelleher, whichever goalkeeper they have these days. So for me, it is imperative that we just get a result. Performances don't matter in finals. Performances are for people that pretend in a final that they don't care if they lose as long as their performance was good. We don't need a good performance. We need a good victory. It's as simple as that. Get in there, get the job done, and keep it stepping. Very simple. Enzo knows what he's talking about here. It's all about winning. It's the matter of winning. Mauricio Pochettino gave us an update on players that are fit. We understand that at this moment in time, Thiago Silva and Cucurella are in partial training. There was a training session with Lavia and Badiashile after everyone else went in on grass. However, everyone's at different stages. He believes that tomorrow they will assess Thiago Silva and try to bring him into the team if needed for the cup final. This is now where we have a little problem. Because for me, this is a massive problem. I think the right thing to do is Thiago Silva doesn't start in this game. Because Thiago Silva, for me, at this moment in time, just did not suit playing against Darwin Núñez and Liverpool. They absolutely ran at him. He was a target. And the problem was the gaps between Enzo and Caicedo and the defense was too big. And they couldn't narrow it down because the high line was too much and there was just so many gaps. And Liverpool were getting space to turn. Remember, at this top level, 1 meter, 1.5 meters makes the difference. It just enables someone to have that split second to open up their body and just release it quicker. And all of a sudden, your shape is broken. The little inefficiencies in your structure will cost you. And I don't think we're structurally great. So for me personally, I'm going with Disasi and Chilwell again. I know people are going to say, there's not enough experience. There's not enough experience, and guess what? Sometimes the experience is the one that costs you. Personally, I think this year, Chilwell, Silva, Raheem Sterling, Nkunku, they're the experienced players, and they've been the ones costing us, whether it's getting injured and not being trustworthy to stay fit, or whether it's bad performances, or whether it's not stepping up on the big occasion at the right time, whether it's individual mistakes. I can't expect mistakes from those lot and say, you know what, it's fine. No, it's not fine, because you're the ones that count on. You're the experienced players that need to step up. So for me, I expect more from you than I expect from an Enzo Caicedo, Lavia, Jackson, Palmer, because they're inexperienced. I expect them to learn the game. In 2 years' time, I will expect a certain standard from these players too. The same standards I have, and you know what? I will actually say something. Conor Gallagher, for the standards that he usually sets and the level of player I think he is, I think he's really exceeded his standards this year. I really am. So I would say proud of Conor Gallagher, because I think he's taken on a bigger mantle than he needs to. And for me, he's really stepped up. Do I think he's a long-term solution in Chelsea? No, I don't. But does he start for me tomorrow? 100%. It is imperative he starts. Pochettino also spoke about the goalkeeper, and he said he knows who's going to be starting. He hasn't told them yet, but he's going to put a tester. If I see Petrovic on that bench, I will riot in front of my TV. I promise you now, I do not want to see Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez does not deserve to start this final. If we're going purely based on meritocracy and deserving something, it has to be Petrovic's game. Petrovic helped us get here. Petrovic won penalties. Petrovic has been our number one and not let us down at all. What is Petrovic's biggest weakness? His ball playing. Everything else, I think he's very good at. So I do not want to see Petrovic on the bench tomorrow. It is imperative this man starts. I do not want to see Sanchez's first game back after a big injury being... Do you know how stupid that is? He needs a few games to get up to speed. He needs a few games to get comfortable. And for me, I don't think he's our number one long term. And I don't think he should be at the club long term, Sanchez. It was a mistake signing him. That's my personal opinion from day one. Petrovic has to start this game. It's end all or be all. If we go to penalties, I trust it. I really do. If we play a normal match in 90 minutes, I trust him. What I thought was interesting was Pochettino's demand almost, and saying what it means to play in this game for us. He was saying it's a massive occasion for the club. The club needs to understand that this is a big day. This is a big trophy. We need to win this trophy. We've made it to the final. Now it's a matter of winning this trophy. Then he went on to saying we have a young team, and this is one of the steps for them to mature and for them to develop. Understanding how to manage these occasions. Having people around them to help them. And this is where I think the likes of Raheem Sterling have to step up. Ben Chilwell, Champions League final under your belt, big man. I need you to step up. We need to have players that know what it takes to win big games. Tomorrow is a big game. I don't care what anyone says. Pochettino went as far as saying we're not favourites. Klopp is trying to push this narrative that they're not favourites. Well, big man, we're not favourites either. And like I said the other day, we're 10th. What favourites? I don't care how many injuries they have. We've got injuries. You think it's easy to play without your captain? You think it's easy for your best player, Christopher Nkunku, not to be fully fit? Do you think it's easy for Wesley Fofana and Badiashile, who arguably could be our starting partnership, not being fit? Do you think it's easy for Chelsea Football Club the whole year having nearly 10 injuries? No, I don't want to hear that nonsense, Klopp. You're favourites and we're the underdog. And I know what he's trying to do, and what I think is so imperative that Pochettino hit the nail on the head. All he asks for is fair officiating. He does not want this to become a goodbye to Klopp situation, where Klopp is the hero and we have to laud him off the pitch, and this is one of Klopp's potential last final. Oh, it's a club occasion. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I hope they lose 6-0. I hope this is the worst game he ever manages tomorrow. I hope Klopp has a horrible day tomorrow in footballing terms. I hope it's like Wenger's 1000th game. The way we ruined it, the way we scarred it, I hope Klopp's final is going to be absolutely humiliating. That's what I want, and I'm glad Pochettino said that we need to step up. Do we respect him? Yes, but do we care? No. It is about us, it's about us performing, and it's about us being important, and that's the main thing for us tomorrow. For me, I think it's so important when you look at it on the big occasion, on the big stage. It is imperative that the referees do their job. We did not get 2 penalties, and I was so proud of Pochettino for mentioning it. We did not get 2 penalties. I need that to be on point tomorrow. No excuses. Under no circumstances should there be any excuses where there is a VAR decision that does not go in our favour because the occasion is too big. The ref gets overwhelmed by the whole occasion. No. you do your job. You do your job. If it's a penalty like it was on Nkunku, you give us the penalty. If it was a penalty like it was on, what's his name, Conor Gallagher in the first few minutes from Virgil van Dijk, you give us our penalty. None of this nonsense where Badiashile kicked Jota. He couldn't wait. He could not wait. He was pointing. I need that referee to be on point. And if it goes down to another final on penalties, then so be it. Because we've got Petrovic and I trust him. But Poch is right. We need to stop looking back at those games because we weren't here. 2 years ago, he wasn't here. 3 years ago, he wasn't here. What is the point of looking back? It's a different team. It's a different structure. It's different players, especially from us. It's different players. Tomorrow is a massive occasion. Be proud. Get excited because this is what we watch football for. These cup finals. These days where 90 minutes. The minute we score, everybody's clock watching. Everybody's panicking. The day, it's going to be a horrible game because this is what finals are. But it's going to be a phenomenal result, hopefully for Chelsea Football Club. What's my prediction? I haven't got one because my heart is saying we're going to win. My head is saying, don't be silly. This team will let you down. We're 10th. However, I am behind the boys fully. Like, we are underdogs, but we can beat them. I know we can. I believe in this team. Like, at times I do. But tomorrow is one of those times. I want to see it. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, make sure you hit the bell notification and come here straight after the post. I want tomorrow's match reaction to be historic. I want it to be the best match reaction I've ever done. Me going crazy, swinging my shirt around like, woo! And Chelsea winning, singing Championes and everything. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, bell notification. Peace out, I'm out.